we're alive. Oh, thank God we survived COVID-19, right? So what about our economic future? Where are we going to from there? Where is the vaccine? Will it come from the Western world? No. So what is the vaccine for the COVID-19, the post-COVID-19? Listen, until we realize that post-COVID-19, it's a knowledge-based economy in which data becomes commodity.
Yeah, that is actually the crux of the discussion. You know,
Thank God you're following.
Knowledge. Now, where are we headed? What can we do? You know, as a people, as a country, what can we do to, you know, be at par with other countries?
Oh yeah. Well, as regards that, I would also want us, because this question I think you threw this question to Nigerians.
Yeah, of course, to you.
Of course, because I'm here. But I think every Nigerian.
You respond as a consultant.
Yeah, I will respond to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my ability and to the best of my studies. Now, you see, Nigeria, it's a unique place. The why, we need to look at the things we have not done right in the past.
I think we have gone past the why. How can we be at par with other countries?
Then listen.
Regarding
you can go ahead.
Regarding what we are facing now.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't know the past and the present, you can't come up with a solution now. It's not possible. You must know what happened, why it happened in the past, why the reoccurrence, and then how to militate against it in the future. Will it come again? Yeah, it will come. Why? Economic interest. Professor Cloud Ake said that the economic condition of man is his primacy, is his primary objective, primary condition, primary problem. So we need to begin to fashion. The likes of Sheikh Ali Pantami should be able to fashion out, begin to look into techno-religion. Nigerians, we should be looking at techno-religion. Part of the major problem why we are still where we are and why we are not at par with our, counterparts. Look at the Asian tigers, for example. Let's do a bit comparative analysis of these issues. What are those factors that had held us back? If I am to paraphrase that question, I think for a better understanding, we're looking at factors that have kept us underdeveloped. Because comparison now, you're comparing the impact of COVID-19 in Nigeria and other advanced or diffracted societies. So from the angle of the third world or developing countries, you see that in the last 20 years, Nigerians, we didn't implement, our government, management did not implement up to 60%, 70% of our total budget in the last 20 years. If we did, we would have met Millennium Development Goal. And if we had met Millennium Development Goal, we wouldn't have gotten dilapidated hospitals. We wouldn't have been in shortage of food. We would have been shortage in our educational system. But these are the things we never did right. So to move forward and to be at par with our counterparts, like the Asian tigers, we need to begin to think through the structuralist approach.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
as a consultant, if you are to recommend to the Federal Ministry of Education, looking at what it faced, during the heat of the pandemic, where there was, a ULEN, so to speak, the education app,
Of course,
that people should, begin to just go through so that they won't be left behind when it comes to the curriculum or the syllabus. Many people in the rural community, they hardly get power, I mean, that's for those that are connected to the grid. The power is epileptic. Some don't even have at all. Even those that have and is steady, they don't even have the gadget to, go through the app and begin to learn, So what can we do if you are to recommend to the Ministry of Education, of course, to the federal government, on how this issue can be addressed so that, like you said, if it happens again, you say history don't repeat itself, man repeats history. So that if man decided to repeat history, we will not be in the court unawares.
Thank you. Thanks for that sensitive question. You see, Nigeria, it's one of those countries in the world where you have the cheapest education. Cheapest. Except some countries in Europe where it is extremely free. Totally free with incentives. In America, school is not free. They give you student loan, study loan, which spreads to like 30, 40, 50 years. In Canada, the indigenous students also have study loan. It's not totally free, but relatively cheap to compare with America. In the UK, indigenous students pay close to 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, depending on the course.
Annually?
Yes, annually, yeah, depending on the course. In other parts of Europe, same. Except places like Germany, some other, European countries that have this, full free education with incentives given. Where are we? What do we do? We also need to look at our ministry. Thank God, the NUC is coming up with a new curriculum development. And in that curriculum development, I see their focus is on digital education. Okay? In this 21st century, you can't be talking of Fortran in our universities. When we talk of computer appreciation, that thing we called computer appreciation JS 102 should be totally replaced with machine learning, artificial intelligence, data quality management, data control management, Sedge, things that you app development, web design, graphic designs, so that at the end of that semester, which is 3 months, if that is all the student got from the whole entire school process, my brother, it's worth a certificate that he is employable. Look at the reasons for unemployment. Look at the reasons for entrenchment. Look at the reasons for downsizing, right sizing. Look at all these reasons. Inefficiency. And let me tell you the truth. Government is a good manager. Let's not be deceived. Let's stop deceiving ourselves that government is not a good businessman. No. Government is a wonderful businessman if you understand state developmentalism. How did America get to where they are? They got to where they are by the virtue of business. It was when they, at a certain benchmark, that they now have to concession to private sectors. Sure. The problem with government business are the managers. Government has recruited the wrong managers. Managers that are inefficient to manage the affairs of government. Instead of them to take blame. Average Nigerian doesn't take blame. Average Africa doesn't like blame. So instead of them to take blame for their inefficiencies, they put it to the fact that, government is not a good businessman. Who told you? Get the right set of people put there and you see that government is a good businessman. He's a good regulator. But it's just that the educational system that produced the managers of government, it's a wrong content in the sense that it's left with, our curriculum. It's always in the past. It's not a par with the present hour reality, with the new administrative behavior. There is such thing as change management. There is such thing as, how do I put it? There are qualities, ethical leadership skills that every manager, Charles Taylor in his work, Scientific Management, he talked about a good man. He said his definition of good man, it's a man of character, a man of common sense, and a man of education. And if you look at these three things together, that is the aim of virtually every institution in Nigeria. At graduation, you were found worthy in character and in learning. Character first. Why? Because it is fundamental to human existence. The aim of education is to make us functional members of the society. Due to the brutish nature of man, there is need for control. So we need to understand the roles of education, the roles of religion, the roles of we in citizens, individuals, in national development, national security. All these institutions seek to provide solutions to security and economic problems. But the issue with us in Africa and Nigeria is that we sought those problems in almost the wrong way. I said COVID-19 is not a death sentence.
How can we get it through the right way?
Okay, this is the solution. COVID-19 is not a death sentence, but an eye-opener, an agent of change, and the game changer, depending on your approach and methodology. Araka 2020. It depends on how you approach it. Do you want to see it as end time? Then you remain metaphysical. And you remain stagnant. You remain where you are. But if you want to approach it from the reality of artificial intelligence and emotional intelligence, which is the new world order. We're talking, see, the summa summarum of everything here, it's neoliberalism. That is what has been ushered in full force. Neoliberalism. That's all. It's just a change of nomenclature and an upgrade from colonialism, from slavery to colonialism to neo-colonialism. You get? To now that we are neoliberalism. So it's just a change of nomenclature and a change in mode of production and social form of production.
So are you in a way suggesting that should be a system change when it comes, I mean, how do I put it down? There should be a new regulator for the education system or sector. And if that is what you are, aiming at, how can it be done?
Well, not necessarily a new regulation, not necessarily new institutions. It's just that...
No, we're in a new dawn.
Yeah.
We just wake up in a different, somebody will say in a different world.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be, ensure that you understand what the new world is, it calls for learning.
I agree.
You understand?
I agree.
It has I mean, it's something new, so you should learn it. It's like when in 2001, 2002, during the advent of GSM, right? We didn't have the kind of smartphone.
At all.
It was Samsung blue screen, and when you are holding it, you're a big boy. And then you have the Nokia touchlight. Of course, when you point that touchlight, especially if you're in the campus, you're a big boy. And then from there, you begin to see phone without buttons, and all of that. So you see, you need to, when you have the new phones, you spend time. Some don't even sleep the night, just to make sure they understand how the system works. So where we are now is a new dawn, right? So do we need to learn something new? If we need to learn something new, do we need a new regulator? For example, you talk about the NUC, working on a curriculum that will be digital in nature, so that when students pass through it, like you said, that alone is worthy for you to go to university. That is, if it can be put into proper use. That's another thing. So that's what I'm saying. Do we need a new regulator? Do we need a new, skills for the new world that we are? If we do, what will it cost? Because there's nothing that comes with change that does not require financial injection. So tell us about it.
There is this article I dropped on this day called How Africans Underdeveloped Africa. what you have, your question can be summarized in one.